Hi. I'm looking a little Amish, but that's not a bad look. So I couldn't tell you why, but I have been hankering to go to a lavender farm all summer, and it's finally July. It is finally lavender season. So tomorrow we're gonna go, and when I was looking online as to which lavender farm was the best one, because I've been to one and it was a great experience, but I have no idea where it was. I don't know what its name is. I do not know that man. The one that I'm gonna go to said you can not only bring dogs, but you can bring outside food and like have a little picnic there. I was like, are you guys inviting me to be your roommate? Oh my God. We will see, but I figure either way it's kind of in the middle of plenty of nature, so I figure we'll just find somewhere to eat anyways. So I wanted to make a little picnic and I thought we could do it together. And initially, when I think picnic, I was like sandwiches, and I was going through all these delicious sandwich options in my head. But I feel like the beauty of a sandwich is like it's really good for hiking or for like the beach or for something that's gonna fill you up. But if I'm bringing a whole sandwich, that's kind of all that you end up eating. And I think the mood that I'm in is a little more like I want a bunch of snacks. Like, what? I don't know. I just love a picnic that has a ton of options. And I think I'm just craving summer food, and I don't have a backyard to make that happen. So we have to go to this lavender field one day. I'm just hungry, I think is actually what's happening. Like, I wrote such a long list of options, and then I've narrowed it down to things that I think will kind of all flow and work together. So anyways, I figure we can go make things together, so let's go begin. So I went to Whole Foods and got a couple things. First was I got some olives, and I thought I was clever because they have just like the regular containers that you can put olives in, but they also have this little sectioned off one. So I got this and only filled one. Nobody called the police, so I think it's fine. Because then I thought I could just fill the other 3 containers with like other paraphernalia. Aha, a genius. Then I just got a bunch of potatoes for a potato salad that I'm gonna make. Some little tiny balls of mozzarella. Then I got a bunch of herbs. I got basil, tarragon, and chives. I'm rich in greenery. And then I just got a little salami. It seemed like it might go well with everything. Oh, this I'm so excited to try. These are definitely like the children branded ones, but I don't care. So I don't know yet if this qualifies as cheese or yogurt. I think it kind of exists somewhere in the middle. I think technically it is cheese, but they're little fruit flavored soft cheeses that come in these personal little pots. And I made some really nice soft buns yesterday, and the idea of a little bit of jam and these, oh, I'm so excited to try. I might have one of those tonight, and then if it seems like a good thing to pack tomorrow, I'll do that. But for cheese, I'm definitely gonna bring tomorrow. I got this little tiny truffle brie. I've had this before, it's so good. I love this one. And then I just got a classic little seaside cheddar that I'm gonna cut up. And then finally, to go with everything, I just got a big loaf of bread. I was looking at the baguettes for a while, but sometimes baguettes are too hard the next day, and this one is kind of like a nice loaf. It's gonna be a good texture come tomorrow. And then lastly, I just restocked chocolate chips. Sorry, there are no good angles in this house, but okay. So I need to figure out now how I'm gonna pack everything. I do still need to cut this cheese up into cubes, which I want to put in here, but I also think I want to eat more cheese that is gonna fit in here. So we're gonna see. Part of me is like, do I just cut up pickles and bring pickles in here? It's not a cornichon, it's just straight. I just got straight pickles. And I'm thinking about it. Oh, I do have, which I think for sure I'm gonna bring. So we're gonna start here. I like the idea of this being kind of like a little snack platter. So I have some rosemary Marcona almonds, delicious. Oh, it's so cute. And then I also have some dried cranberries, which I think would taste good with the cheese, bread, everything. There's a sick part of me that kind of wants to just put chocolate in here. Like just these dark chocolate baking chunks. I think I'm gonna keep this on the back burner. Oh, you know what I have? I do have some sun-dried figs. I think that'll be good. I'm gonna cut the figs up a little bit. I like having everything be completely snackable, ready to go in the portions that you want, because I feel like that's part of the picnic experience. Oh, these with the cheddar, gonna be tasty. Ah! Look at how cute! A little snack pack. Thank you, Whole Foods. I'm using so many knives, which once upon a time, I would have been too lazy to do, but then I saw a video of Martha Stewart yelling at a woman, which I'm not saying is okay, but she was yelling at a woman about using a wrong knife to cut something. I'm not saying you should yell at your employees, but it did make an impact on me. I see why people buy pre-cut cube cheese. I'm not good at this. Martha, don't yell at me, please. Oh my god. I also would normally, of course, make like a beverage or a dessert, but the farm that we're going to, I saw very desirable looking lavender lemonade and also lavender ice cream, I believe. Oh hell. I gotta make real dinner, people. I'm too hungry for this. Okay, I got a little thing of cheese. I'm trying to keep things lighter just because I don't know how much space I'm gonna have this cooler realistically. Cute. Cute. I think all that is left is I'm gonna cut the bread up. And then for the caprese, I just prepped the tomatoes, mozzarella, and basil. And what I'm gonna do is just leave it like this. And then just on the side, bring this balsamic glaze. So that right before we eat it, I can just pour this all over the top, mix it all together. It'll be lovely, but then it's not like sitting in its own juices and getting weird overnight. You're so relatable, caprese. The lavender.
Yes, sir.
There. Oh,
Wow, look at this.
Goodbye, Lavender Farm. Lord loved it. And so did I. Honestly, I feel like that was a very good Lavender Farm.
It's like a lover whose personality, you've just another side of her you've just discovered.
Is that so? You're cheating on me with the wood. Hey. Yeah, I didn't film a ton yesterday. We were a little busy. We had a baby class, like a newborn care class. I've taken a birthing class and then the one we did yesterday, because those were the two classes that I was like, probably a good idea just to confirm we know some things about. For myself, I think there's definitely a balance between information being helpful and information being overwhelming. I really enjoyed both the classes. Like, I think that they did a good job of supplying useful information. A lot of stuff I did already know, which also kind of gave me a little confidence of like, okay, I'm not a complete fool. But I didn't know you couldn't get the umbilical cord wet. Might have killed him. There was definitely a couple things where I was like, well, that's one less way you can die. Great. I do feel like I physically feel quite lucky with how things have gone so far. I will say, I think I live in a balance again. Not even a balance, it's off balance, but I feel like there's always been part of me that can be really like logical and analytical and aware of big picture things, and I appreciate that about myself. I just also am somebody who feels things really deeply and intensely, and it's a terrible, terrible place to be sometimes, because I mean, it has its pros, it has its cons, but it's just kind of exhausting, I think, trying to appreciate where I'm at and be grateful, and also just having hormones coursing through my body and changing things. And it's like, some weeks I'm great, and when I do have times like 4 or 5 days straight of just crying at everything and anything, there's always a little Lauren in the back of my head being like, this isn't you, it's hormones. Or like, even if it is me, who cares? Like, I think there's always a little piece of me that's like, you just gotta survive, dude. Like, just one day it won't feel like this, and until then, like, how can we make the most out of this situation? And obviously I'm not trying to preach to anybody, I'm just saying, I think that's where I'm just sharing my experience. I've really been trying to, I think, just be present, because part of me too is like, this is the only time that I'm ever gonna have this experience. Like, some women will talk to me, I mean, everybody talks to me, dude, we can get into that in a minute, but because some people during their pregnancy, like, you're working so much, you're stressed, like you don't necessarily have like everything perfectly aligned before you get pregnant. And so I just feel like I know people who have said that they didn't really get to enjoy it as much as they would have liked, and that's very sad. Like, I don't know, I think I just really feel for that, and it was something that impacted me, where I was like, good or bad, I just want to be here and really try and just soak up as much of this as I can, because it is, on one hand, while it feels like it's forever and it's never ending, on the other hand, it's 9 months. And just tell myself it's healthy when I'm sobbing, you know? But yeah, people also just say a lot of wild things. I think that's the other thing too, is I've really been trying to give more authority to my own voice in my head, which I would recommend almost anyone does, because holy cow, people, bro, I don't know if it's just me, because I feel like even before being pregnant, there's something about my face, I guess, my vibe, my being, people just talk to me, which I've never really minded, because I'm a pretty chatty person, and also I find people interesting, so I'm usually like down to clown. But it is getting a little overwhelming, I will admit. I'm kind of like ready to fully cocoon in my house sometimes, because it's tiring. People say the wildest stuff to me, and I think to most pregnant people, you just get such a range. But like I had someone recently, we were just walking by each other, and I just gave them like a friendly, hi, we're both human beings on the street smile, and they just blurted out, God, you're so sexy. And I was like, okay, thank you. There was no creep energy behind it. It was just somebody like, I don't know what happened, but I wasn't creeped out, so it just mostly made me laugh. But I was like, okay. But then you also have people that are so creepy, like, I can't tell you. I'm like, okay, some of y'all have like home wrecker fetishes or fantasies going on, I swear to God. Like, I'm so apparently pregnant, and I'm always in like a crop top, you know, because it's hot out, and I'm just like, I don't want to live in fabric. Baby needs to be free. I still get hit on far too often, in my opinion. Bruh, there's this woman who, I am not exaggerating, every time they see me, talks at my stomach. They don't talk to me, they don't address me, like my face, like I'm up here, literally just talks at my stomach. And that, I think the first time it happened was like, okay, you're just a different human being than me, and that's life, so whatever. But then like they make so many faces at my stomach that are like, and that fills me with literal adrenaline, and I want to punch someone. And I'm not saying that's a healthy reaction in me, but it is the reaction in me. And I really know that they mean well, but I don't know them. They are a full stranger to me. It's so crazy how this thing that's happening to me just creates such an active reaction in people that I have never met before and do not know and am a complete stranger to. Who are you? Like, I'm just standing here trying to walk my dog and people are just giving me opinions and like horror stories. And okay, I'm just not here for that. At what other point would this be appropriate? Like, because it's not appropriate in my opinion. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I feel like it isn't. I'm just going on a rant right now. I hope you're enjoying. Like, I'm not saying that you can't talk about it. Like, I have really wonderful neighbors, none of which so far have been weird. Like, one of them was telling me, she was like, I went on a trip at 3 months. I went on a trip at 6 weeks. Like, we just traveled and stuff. And I was like, good for y'all. Like, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm like, obviously I want to provide stability and like comfort and love and like downtime for said child. But I also am like, dude, you could have a cool life. That could be fun. So I hope they're down to clown, because the black market exists. Anyways, I don't know. I'm saying this to myself, but I also am saying this because I know some of you have commented that you were also pregnant, but also just in general, I'm like, dude, you don't have to take people's stuff and you don't always have to be polite. And it's honestly kind of exhausting constantly being aware of everybody else's emotions and like that people mean well and that they're doing all this stuff. And like, it's not to say that I'm not continuing to aspire for that, because I do, because that's the kind of person that I want to be. But sometimes I'm like, I'm allowed to not care for this, because I personally don't think it's rude that if you were to say something to me and I just go and don't respond, that's not actually rude in my opinion. That's just me not engaging with whatever baloney you have put on my plate as I am just trying to walk to the grocery store. Who are you? I don't know. People in your life, people not in your life, like, you just don't have to engage with them. And when people start on like negative, like, because really people, I can't believe how many people are like, oh, you have to like give birth. Well, here's the 20,000 ways that that can go wrong. And I'm like, thanks? Like, what is that helping? Like, I'm just like, dude, if that happens, it happens. Let me get there. But there's like such a difference in being realistically prepared, which is also like, let me do that, versus just like, people just love sharing terrible stuff. And sometimes I'm like, okay, like, if it's gonna be funny, give it to me, you know? But for the most part, you're just sharing crazy stuff that I'm like, I don't want to hear this. This is gross. And like, what? And at that point, I just will straight up cut somebody off. And I've just been like, hey, I have to do this in 2 months. I don't really want to hear this right now. And then people kind of like, oh, okay, yeah, and like get aware. And I'm like, I feel like you can do it politely. Anyways, speaking of living your dreams and following your heart, I'm gonna go get a sandwich. I think I'm gonna go there and just sit outside and just read my book and exist in the sun, because I've been working all morning. So yeah, I'm gonna go do that, and then we'll see what we get up to. But thanks for listening to me rant. I support you in your dreams. Bye. Hello everyone. I had a sandwich, I had a nap. Now I'm hungry again. It's my cycle of life. So I just made some oatmeal chocolate chip cookies for a couple reasons. One, I heard that oats are good for lactation and things that will be happening maybe in the future. But also I've heard that having cookies on hand during the first couple weeks to months really with a newborn is just a good idea. So I've shaped and saved 3 little cookies for us later, because I want to taste the product obviously, but the majority of the dough I'm just gonna wrap up and pop into my freezer. Along similar lines, I got these super cubers, I think is what they're called. I feel like they're having a moment. I don't know how necessary they really are, but the perfect squareness that they make really scratches an itch in my brain that I find satisfying. I think you can do this with just about anything. Basically what you do, if you're unfamiliar, is if you have leftovers, like I made a bunch of green bean casserole, is you just fill up each of the little cubes, and then they come with lids. You put them in the freezer like overnight, and then they're really easy to pop out, and then I just wrap them in foil and then put them in bags. I want to be the person that has a giant top level, what are those called, freezers that you open this way and it's just filled with meals. Not because I'm like a doomsday planner, but there's probably something else wrong with me, but I love it. But these come in different, I'm not trying to be like a salesperson right now, so don't, like, if you don't need this in your life, don't let me influence you. I'm just saying. What sold me on them is the idea that I can make giant pans of things, and then if I get sick of eating it, or I'm just intentional about how much I make, you can just basically make yourself little TV dinners. As a Costco queen, I love making things in bulk. Okay, I'm having one of those moments where I can't tell if I'm a genius or I'm missing really obvious information. Basically, I need to get some little travel bottles, like for cosmetics and lotions and stuff like that. And I had some at some point. I have no idea what happened to them, where they've gone, what the world has done, but I do not have any more. And I was looking all over the internet and nothing was really satisfying me. And then I came across Etsy. You can buy refillable bottles like people would use for like retail and things, but you can get just one jar like as a sample to see if you like the bottle. I think what I like about the idea of that is that then I can build a collection of bottles that is exactly what I need. But now I'm like, there's so many to choose from. My options are endless. Do I want to go cute colors? Do I want to go just plain? There's bamboo options. I am overwhelmed. It's what an exciting time to be alive. Look at how many tabs I have open. Okay, I'm gonna focus. Oh, I'm being torn because in my cart I have all these practical items. But look at this. I don't have any need for this though. Okay, I got a grip. We did it. But I think for the rest of the night, I'm just going to do a little face mask and then we're gonna watch Love Island. It's coming to an end, folks. Both Love Island and I think this video actually, because I'm not gonna be doing much else, but I hope that you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you next week. Bye.